The air hung heavy and thick, a suffocating blanket woven from the humid breath of the Mississippi and the cloying sweetness of sugar cane. It was the kind of Louisiana morning in 1850, where the sun, barely above the horizon, already promised a day of relentless, sweat-drenching labor. The cicadas had begun their incessant high-pitched chorus, a sound as much a part of the landscape as the cypress knees and the slow, muddy currents of the bayou. This particular morning, however, held a different kind of weight, a dark premonition that settled like morning mist over the fields of the Du Bois plantation. Antoine Brossard, his back already aching from years of toil, gripped the handle of his shovel, the wood smooth and worn against his calloused palm. He stood with a dozen other men, faces grimed with dust and fatigue, at the edge of a newly cleared patch of land. Monsieur Jean-Luc Du Bois, the plantation owner, a man whose wealth was as vast and unreachable as the surrounding swamps, had decided this overgrown section, choked with stubborn weeds and palmetto, was finally ready for cultivation. Silas Croft, the overseer, a man whose shadow always seemed longer and darker than his frame, barked orders in a raspy voice worn from shouting and cheap tobacco. "Move it, you lazy lot. The sun ain't waiting for you to dream." He spat, pale eyes sweeping coldly over them. "Dig deep. This ground needs turning by sundown." Antoine plunged his shovel into the rich, dark soil. It yielded with a soft sigh. The work was monotonous. Lift, turn, throw, broken only by the grunts of fellow workers and the distant mournful cry of a heron that he thought of Marie, his wife, and their young son Etienne back in the quarters. Their faces were his only brief comfort against the harsh reality of his days. He tried to lose himself in the labor, letting physical pain drown out the deeper ache in his spirit. Hours passed. The sun climbed, beating down with force that seemed to squeeze the air from their lungs. Sweat stung Antoine's eyes, blurring the shimmering fields. The men worked in grim rhythm, shovels rising and falling together. Then a sharp cry cut through the cicada drone and shovel thuds. Baptiste, young, strong but always jittery, stood frozen, shovel half buried, eyes wide with terror that drained the color from his face. "Monsieur," he whispered, barely audible. What is this?" Antoine paused, shovel midair. Unease rippled through the line. Croft strode forward, boots crunching dry earth. "What's the meaning of this, Baptiste? Get back to work." Baptiste didn't move. He pointed a trembling finger downward. Where the shovel had struck, the earth hadn't given more soil. It revealed something hard, unnervingly straight and regular. Antoine stepped closer, heart thumping heavily. He saw it, a dark rectangular shape, partially exposed. Too uniform, too deliberate. Croft sneered, shoved Baptiste aside. "Out of my way, fool." He peered down. The sneer faltered. He prodded it with his boot toe. Dull, hollow sound. What in the devil's name? Antoine knelt, morbid curiosity pulling him. His fingers brushed rough, decaying wood. A coffin, old, waterlogged, crumbling, but unmistakable. The collective gasp rose from the gathered men. "Shovels forgotten. Keep digging," Croft ordered, voice stripped of usual bluster, now edged with uneasy urgency. "Carefully. Let's see what else is down there." The men resumed, but rhythm broken. Every scoop cautious, reverent, dread thick in the air. Another dark rectangle appeared. Then another. Then another. A disturbingly neat row of forgotten boxes, just beneath the surface. Sun beat down, yet a chill settled over the field. Cicadas grew louder, insistent, like thousands of tiny voices whispering secrets. Men exchanged uneasy glances, eyes full of unspoken questions. Who were they? Why hidden without markers, crosses, or even a mound? The plantation had a tidy cemetery for white residents, and a rougher plot for the enslaved. Crude crosses that rotted quickly. But these were different, deliberately concealed, erased, as if their existence was meant to vanish. Antoine felt cold dread seep into his bones. He had lived on this land his whole life, as had his parents and grandparents. He knew every rise, every ancient oak, every path. Yet this patch, so close to the big house, so ordinary, had hidden this secret for years, perhaps decades. The growing line suggested not accident, but pattern, deliberate concealment. Air, already thick with humidity, now felt heavy with unspoken history. Ghosts whose names the earth had swallowed. Croft, face grim, ordered them on, usual threats absent. He seemed as shaken as the men, though he hid it behind gruff authority. Just clear the dirt. Don't touch anything else. His voice lower. I'll fetch Monsieur Dubois. Croft hurried off, boots kicking dust. Men worked in stunned silence. Exposed coffins seemed to breathe silent accusation into the oppressive air. Antoine felt primal fear. This was not mere death. This was erasure. On Dubois' plantation, erasure meant something far more terrifying than burial. It meant a story deliberately buried, a truth meant to stay hidden forever beneath Louisiana's soil. The sun climbed relentlessly, but the day had already turned cold, shadowed by the grim discovery beneath their feet. The first coffin shocked them, a jolt to their monotonous lives. But as morning wore on and the row stretched longer, shock turned to deep, unsettling dread. Men who usually joked or grumbled now worked in heavy silence, heavier than the heat. Each shovel scrape, each thud of earth, echoed the silent accusation from below. Baptiste, still pale, was moved away, nerves too fragile to stay near the row. Antoine couldn't look away. He worked methodically, eyes drawn to the exposed wood. Coffins crude, unadorned, hasty boxes, hastily buried. No names, no dates, no faith symbols. Just raw, decaying timber. Louisiana heat clung like a living thing, suffocating, seeping into skin and clothes, making every breath hard. Air shimmered, distorting distant cypress trees along the bayou. Damp earth smell, usually comforting, now mixed with faint, cloying odor that sent shivers down Antoine's spine. Something old, forgotten, hidden too long. How many? Whispered Etienne, not his son, but a young worker beside him. Voice hoarse, eyes darting nervously. Antoine counted silently. 13 so far, he murmured. And the row keeps going. 13 felt ominous. Not a family plot. Not small group. Deliberate. Systematic. Scale unsettled them most. Secret too large. Too dark to explain easily. Monsieur Dubois arrived soon after Croft fetched him. Crisp linen suit already damp under arms. Imposing man, usually stern. Today, subtle apprehension in sharp eyes. He walked slowly along trench edge, gaze sweeping coffins, lips thin. What is this, Croft? Voice low, controlled, but colder, more calculating than usual. Unmarked graves, monsieur. Whole row. Stumbled on them, clearing new field. Dubois stopped at row's end, back to workers. Long moment staring at horizon, searching shimmering heat for answers. Silence stretched, broken only by flies and distant frog croaks from bayou. Men held breath. Finally Dubois turned, expression neutral. Continue digging. Carefully. Do not disturb contents. I want full extent of this situation. He stressed situation, as if to lessen gravity. And tell no one. Not a word leaves this field. Understood. Gaze swept workers, lingered fraction longer on Antoine. Murmur of agreement. Silence was currency here, often bought with fear. As day wore on, row grew. 14, 15, 16. Count climbed. Mystery and dread deepened. Men worked grimly efficient. Movements precise, almost ritualistic. No longer digging. Unearthing secret, piece by agonizing piece. Sun descended, sky orange and purple, beauty lost on them. Faces streaked dirt and sweat, eyes hollow with exhaustion and unease. By twilight, 21 coffins exposed. Perfect straight line. Grim testament to forgotten tragedy. Antoine leaned on shovel, muscles screaming, mind racing. Tried recalling stories, whispers, old tales, nothing fit. Older folks spoke sickness, hardship, never this. Not plague burials. Not marked graves of natural deaths. Something else entirely. Night fell. Air cooled. Night creatures sang. Crickets, frogs, owl hoots. Exposed coffins glowed faintly in twilight, more menacing. Mist rolled from bayou, swirling ankles, ghostly scene. Croft, face weary beyond exhaustion, dismissed them curtly. Rest. Back at first light. Voice flat, menace gone. Even he subdued. Antoine walked to quarters. Image of 21 graves burned in mind. Still smelled damp earth, faint cloying odor. Felt weight of questions. Who were they? Why buried like this? What secret did Du Bois so desperately hide? Plantation, usually predictable misery, now infused with chilling mystery. Darkness unearthed with forgotten dead. He knew, deep gut certainty, this was only beginning. Ground gave dead, truth still buried. Waiting. Belle Reve, sprawling cotton and cane empire. Prosperity built on backs of hundreds enslaved. Outside, antebellum grandeur. White columns, manicured gardens, vast fields. Beneath, whispered reputation among neighboring enslaved communities. More than usual bondage hardships. Jean-Luc Du Bois inherited from ruthless father. Colder, detached cruelty. Few words, icy precision commands. Rarely raised voice, left brutality to Silas Croft. But everyone knew, Croft merely instrument. True chilling authority in master's quiet, calculating mind. Whispers always circulated. Men and women vanished, not sold, not runaways. Just gone. Official explanations, fever, illness, failed escape. Enslaved knew better. Subtle signs, names suddenly unspoken, belongings quietly disappeared, not packed, just gone. Disappearances not frequent enough for rebellion, but regular enough for deep fear. Antoine heard since boyhood. Grandmother warned. Belle Reve has hungry shadows, little one. Shadows that swallow folk whole. Dismissed as old tales. Now, 21 unmarked graves staring up, whispers terrifyingly real. Dr. Alastair Finch arrived years earlier, from north. Precise manners, unsettling, intense gaze. Du Bois announced, man of science, advancing medical knowledge. Given isolated building, far from house and quarters, turned clinic/laboratory. First, cautious hope. Better care, relief from ailments. Hope faded fast. Finch method strange. Ignored common fevers, broken bones. Interested in obscure conditions, observations, studies. Selected individuals, often weakened or ill, took to clinic. Some returned gaunt, distant, haunted eyes. Most never returned. Antoine remembered Mama Cecile, revered herb healer. Persistent cough. Finch took her. Never back. Du Bois said consumption. She's strong despite age. Disappearance left whole. Chilling questions. Plantation life. Brutal, predictable rhythm. Bell before dawn, ended after sunset. Cotton fields endless. White bowls deceptive purity against relentless labor. Air thick. Earth, sweat, faint sugarcane. Antoine's days blur of exertion. Strong man, muscles honed, but strain took toll. Worked beside fellow enslaved. Shared suffering forged silent bond. Marie, main house. Endless chores, resilient spirit. Etienne, 5-year-old, bright-eyed. Rare laughter Antoine clung to. Too young to understand full weight, but shadows gathering in innocent eyes. Quarters, small dilapidated cabins. Crowded, hot, damp. Home. Evenings, single candle. True stories whispered. Cruelty, injustice, strange Dr. Finch. Antoine quiet observer. Watched, listened, remembered. Noticed Finch walking fields. Gaze on workers, calculating glint. Noticed Du Bois visiting clinic. Low, secretive talk. Noticed Croft, pain inflictor, avoiding clinic. Uneasy flicker in cold demeanor. Graves' discovery ripped open festering wound. Direct link. Whispered disappearances, Finch experiments. Men who dug, Antoine among them, carried terrible burden. Seen what meant to remain hidden. Knowledge dangerous on Du Bois plantation. That night, Antoine lay on straw mat. Quarters sounds distant. Baby cry, murmurs, leaves rustle, muffled by pounding heart. Thought of 21 silent witnesses. Faces have vanished. Mama Cecile, young Thomas with cough, others ghost names. New, chilling certainty. Belle Reve truth darker than any rumor. He, Antoine Brossard, unwilling participant in uncovering. Air heavy, not just humidity. Weight of secret threatening to consume all. Days after discovery, palpable tension hung like fog. Fields work continued, but grave diggers moved fearfully cautious. Eyes darted to exposed patch. Raw wound. 21 crude coffins open. Du Bois regained composure. Orders clear, chillingly precise. Continue exhumation, extreme care. Know what's inside. No damage beyond necessary. Grim desecration forced on them. Antoine assigned macabre duty. Sun baked earth relentlessly. Odor stronger, damp wood, decay, metallic sickly sweet, stomach churned, pride decaying lids. Horrifying truth emerged. Not peaceful skeletons. Bundles wrapped coarse deteriorating cloth, stained dark. Cloth clung, revealing glimpses. Antoine lifted corner, breath caught. Bones, disarticulated, unnaturally small, strangely shaped. Amidst, crude surgical instruments, rusted curved blade, wire, clamp. Dropped cloth, heart hammering. Dared not speak, dared not meet eyes of Honoré beside him. Older man ashen, lips moved silent prayer. Implications horrifying. Not simple burials. Not sudden illness victims. Subjects. Bodies tampered, dissected, experimented upon. Nausea waved through Antoine. Remembered Finch whispers, studies, those never returned. Puzzle pieces fell, grotesque. Croft watched, menacing shadow. Rarely spoke. Cold, watchful eyes missed nothing. Whip present, silent reminder. Understood unfolding horror. Grim silence more terrifying than bluster. One afternoon, Antoine brushed earth from coffin, uncovered small, intricately carved wooden bird. Cardinal, tucked in shroud folds. Child's toy, undoubtedly. Profound sadness, then cold fury. A child. Quickly covered, hope Croft missed. Thought of Etienne, fresh terror. Evidence undeniable, even untrained eyes. Some bundles, shriveled organs, preserved dark viscous fluid, long-dried, stained cloth. Others, bones crudely reassembled, strange incisions. Macabre tableau, silent testament, unspeakable acts. Croft sensed unease. Threats increased, subtle first. Remember what Monsieur Dubois said. Not a word leaves field. Not women, children, wind. Speak secrets, find deeper holes. Gaze lingered Antoine. Quiet intensity drew suspicion. Antoine constant fear not. New danger uncovering. New danger knowing. Couldn't unsee. Vanished faces. Mama Cecile whispers. Finch experiments. Coalesced single terrifying truth. Air thickened unspoken horror. Usual plantation sounds muted, world holding breath. Bayou, dark watchful presence. Murky waters reflecting buried secrets. Night. Antoine awake. Graves images replaying. Pieced fragments. Full horror scope. Sheer victim number. Systematic burial. Not one time. Sustained deliberate cruelty campaign. Hidden long. Right beneath feet. Plantation living tomb. Looked Marie sleeping. Peaceful dim light. Etienne curled corner. Fierce protective instinct surged. Had to know. Understand. Not just himself, for them. All. Fear immense. Truth need growing stronger. Slow burning ember soul. Pursuing truth could cost everything. Alternative. Ignorance. Horrors buried. Betrayal silent dead. Tension in blood. Constant thrum dread and determination. Grim exhumation continued days. Each coffin more unsettling. Evidence volume. Fragmented decaying. Painted chilling picture. Antoine, desperate understand, watched Finch clinic comings/goings closer. Noticed doctor infrequent main house visits, odd hours. Dubois sent young boy, house servant, sealed notes clinic. Sweltering afternoon, working field edge, saw Finch leave clinic, leather satchel, hurried gait. Heart pounded. Chance. New risks, severe punishment caught near/inside clinic. Wooden cardinal image flashed. Overrode fear, waited Finch outside. Moved swift silent through tall grass, dense undergrowth. Clinic, locked shuttered, single window slightly ajar, ventilation against heat. Approached cautious, senses sharp. Every leaf rustle, bird call, warning. Peaked narrow opening. Dim room, strange equipment. Murky glass jars. Gleaming metal instruments table. Thick leather-bound bookshelves. Air heavy chemicals, antiseptic. Faint organic disturbing scent. Couldn't enter window, noise. Circled, found small unlocked shed back. Firewood, tools storage. Connected clinic narrow internal door. Silent prayer, slipped inside. Shed dark stifling. Damp earth, old wood smell. Fumbled internal door, rough planks. Creaked open, groaned deafening silence. Froze, listened, heart hammering. No sound. Pushed further, stepped clinic. Main room unsettling close. Instruments glinted menacing. Large stained wooden table center, scarred dark. Averted gaze, stomach churning. Needed find something, explain Graves. Eyes fell small locked cabinet far wall. Too sturdy force. Scanned, desk cluttered papers, books. Partially hidden beneath medical texts, small leather-bound journal. Old, cover worn smooth. Snatched, fumbled clasp. Limited time. Flipped open, scanned elegant precise handwriting. Finch's journal. Dated entries, meticulous, cold clinical tone, chilled spine. Read, breath catching each revelation. Studies observations subjects, identified numbers, vague descriptions. Subject 7, male 30, persistent cough. Subject 12, female 45, chronic fever. Subject 19, infant severe malnutrition. Described procedures, dissections, crude invasive surgeries, no anesthesia, detailed notes responses, eventual demise. Antoine recognized some. Subject 7, Thomas cough. Subject 12, Mama Cecile. Infant, wooden cardinal. Profound horror washed. All there, laid bare Finch's dispassionate prose. Experiments real. Disappearances, not runaways/natural deaths. Systematic murders, disguised medical research. Flipped further, scanned Du Bois mention. Found entry years prior. Discussed progress with Monsieur Du Bois. He pleased advances, efficiency process. Funds secured further acquisitions, research expansion. Du Bois not complicit, active participant. Funding, facilitating atrocities. Acquisitions, people. Enslaved men, women, children, delivered clinic-like specimens. Efficiency, quick silent disposal. Unmarked graves, erased existence. Antoine's hands trembled violently. Nearly dropped journal. Had get out. Get information out. Couldn't take journal. Absence noticed immediately. Memorize. Key details, dates, recognized names. Forced calm, focus, imprint horrifying facts memory. Saw mentions correspondence New Orleans Medical Society. Reports Southern Medical Journal. Finch not rogue madman. Part larger sanctioned network. Research potentially lauded medical establishment era. Not just Bell Rev secret. Secret woven society fabric. Sudden creak outside. Jolted. Finch returning. Slammed journal shut. Heart leaping throat. Shoved back under books. Undisturbed look. Darted shed. Pulled door shut. Would groan protest. Heard footsteps. Keys jingle. Pressed against rough wall. Barely breathed. Clinic door open. Close. Footsteps inside. Waited. Eternity. Stifling darkness. Faint lock click. Finch inside. Unaware intrusion. Waited minutes. Cautiously slipped out shed. Melted dense undergrowth. Moved speed stealth. Didn't know possessed. Mind reeling enormity discovery. Reached quarters. Body shaking. Clothes sweat-soaked. Found Marie. Face etched worry. Antoine were been. So afraid. Couldn't tell everything. Not yet. Danger too great. Looked her. Etienne playing dirt. Cold hard resolve settled heart. Had truth. Terrible horrifying truth. Now figure what do. Knowledge burning cold gut. Heavy burden. Weapon. New names. Dates. Methods. New Du Bois complicity. Wider network potential. Truth. Once buried. Now unearthed. Demanded justice. But enslaved man Louisiana plantation. How hope achieve? Question vast terrifying. Sun-dipped horizon. Long ominous shadows over Bell Rev. Truth weight crushing. Heavier cotton bale. Seen evidence. Read chilling journal words. Full horrifying conspiracy scope unfolded. Not just Du Bois Finch. Deeply entrenched system. Allowed atrocities flourish. Tried speak honoré. Older man exhumation beside. Quiet dignity. Deep faith. Seen enough understand implications. Hushed tones. Recounted journal. Names. Procedures. Du Bois complicity. Honor listened. Face grimmer each word. Eyes profound sorrow fear. Monsieur Antoine. Whispered trembling. Wickedness beyond imagining. But what can we do? Who listen? We nothing. Words echoed Antoine fears. Enslaved. Testimony worthless law eyes. Local authorities. Sheriff. Magistrates. Part same fabric. Often owners or beholden. New approach. Dismissed. Punished daring accuse white man. Let alone Du Bois standing. Remembered story neighboring plantation. Enslaved man reported brutal beating. Accused lying. Whipped insubordination. Sold down river. Never seen. System designed protect itself. Silence challenging voice. Also recalled journal. Correspondence New Orleans Medical Society. Southern Medical Journal reports. Not local horror. Sanctioned, perhaps encouraged. Institutions meant uphold ethics knowledge. Thought sickening. Science-era dark corners, built suffering people like him. Began observed Du Bois interactions, prominent parish figures. Noticed frequent visits Monsieur Bouillon, vast sugar upstream. Monsieur Dequa, wealthy New Orleans merchant supplying Belle Reve. Conversations private, study or veranda, away ears. Couldn't hear words, saw knowing glances, subtle nods, shared understanding air. Involved? Other plantations harboring horrors, turning blind eye Du Bois research. Corruption web stretched beyond Belle Reve. Attempts find ally, sympathetic ear, met fear resignation. Spoke veiled terms trusted elders' quarters, hinting Graves' nature. Responses same. Head shake, sigh, careful warning. Some secrets best left buried, Antoine. Old Pierre advised, weary wisdom eyes. Ground holds own counsel. Safer let keep. But Antoine couldn't. Victims' faces, wooden cardinal image, haunted waking hours, invaded dreams. Saw fear Marie eyes, innocent joy Etienne, knew couldn't stand by. Had try. Considered running, taking Marie Etienne, seeking north help. Risks immense. Vast unforgiving swamps, patrols, bounty hunters. Success slim, failure consequences unimaginable. Even success, who believe? Runaway slave accusing prominent owner, respected doctor, murder experimentation. Fantasy. South economic social systems designed protect men like Du Bois. Wealth, status, way life depended subjugation people like Antoine. Challenge them. Challenge entire society edifice. Unmarked Graves horror, not anomaly. Symptom deeper pervasive sickness. Antoine growing isolation. Surrounded people, utterly alone knowledge, desperate justice need. Silence conspiracy, not just powerful deliberate act. Forced complicity, survival mechanism voiceless powerless. Noticed subtle plantation atmosphere changes. Croft, usually quick anger, more watchful, eyes scanning workers, dissent/knowledge sign. Du Bois frequent unannounced field visits. Gaze lingering Antoine, grave workers. Unspoken threat clear. Watched. Evening, young Lysen, exhumation helper, found badly beaten quarter's edge. Croft claimed stole food. Lie everyone knew. Lysen quiet compliant. Injury severe, clear message. Lysen terrified, refused say anything. Eyes wide fear, Antoine understood. Silence conspiracy, not ignoring truth. Actively suppressing, violently necessary. Graves horror, not contents. Lengths powerful go keep secrets buried. Walls closing, net tightening. Uncovered truth. Now truth dangerous predator. He prey. Bayou, comfort source. Now whispered warnings. Dark waters reflecting cruelty complicity depths. Lysen beating, chilling quarters message, knowing too much consequences. Fear, constant companion, settled deeper heavier Antoine heart. New watched. Every move scrutinized Croft, perhaps Du Bois. Air charged unspoken threats, constant danger hum. Tried cautious, blend, appear ordinary laborer. Knowledge burning ember, impossible extinguish. Victims faces dreams. Silent Graves accusations heard. Couldn't forget. Couldn't back. Direct threats subtle began. Morning, shovel handle weakened. Nearly snapped work. Another time, venomous snake coiled sleeping mat. Clear warning. Not accidents. Deliberate. Intimidate. Remind vulnerability. Noticed Finch continued presence. Undisturbed Graves discovery. Clinic active. Shutters closed. Secrets guarded. Sometimes saw figures led clinic. Night. Faces obscured. Steps hesitant. Horror ongoing. Experiments continued. Victims unearthed field. Audacity. Disregard human life. Filled cold rage. Psychological toll immense. Slept little. Nightmares haunted. Day. Constantly edge. Senses hyper alert. Danger every shadow. Leaf rustle. Saw fear reflected Marie eyes. Sensed torment though not full discovery told. Held hand darkness. Fragile comfort encroaching dread. Noticed enslaved behavior subtle changes. Some avoided. Eyes darted away. Feared dangerous knowledge infect. Others, silent plea. Desperate hope exposed truth. Unspoken expectations wait. Added heavy burden. Evening, returning fields. Croft intercepted. Face grim. Eyes narrowed. You asking too many questions, Brossard. Poking nose doesn't belong. Monsieur Du Bois don't like curious minds. Heart hammered, forced calm. No questions, Master Croft. Only work fields told. Croft closer, breath stale tobacco whiskey. Don't play fool. Seen way look graves. Way look clinic. Think know something, don't you? Leaned, menacing whisper. Let tell, Brossard. Some things best left buried. Dig too deep. Sometimes find buried alongside. No one ever know there. Threat clear, unmistakable. Croft words not own. Du Bois. Cold sweat broke brow. No longer witness. Target. Next day, small fire quarters. Dangerously close Antoine cabin. Quick extinguished. Message clear. Life, family, direct peril. Looked Etienne, playing innocently dirt. Fierce desperate resolve hardened. Couldn't let couldn't let horror continue. Knew couldn't fight Du Bois Finch direct. Enslaved man, powerless world. But knowledge, even chains, dangerous thing. Began think, plan, search way, however small, expose truth. Remembered Finch Journal, New Orleans Medical Society, Southern Medical Journal mentions. Perhaps send message, whisper grow shout beyond Belle Rev confines. Bayou dense foliage winding waterways, slim hope. Heard stories sympathetic boatmen. Carry messages, whispers reach far ears. Desperate gamble, no other choice. Remain silent, condemn self, family, countless others, same fate unmarked graves. Danger escalating, threats explicit, violent. Felt trapped animal, sparked defiance. Fueled victim's memory, family love, ignited. Would not silenced. Would not let death's vein. Oppressive Louisiana air, thick humidity decay scent. Now carried faint defiant scent man, pushed breaking point. Ready fight truth refused stay buried. Escalating threats pushed brink, sharpened resolve. Knew couldn't wait inevitable. Had act. Mind, usually day labor focused. Now feverish intensity. Piecing fragments. Searching silence wall weakness around Belle Rev. Remembered Finch Journal specific details. Medical societies names. Correspondence dates. Studies precise, chilling descriptions. Knew. Somehow get information outside world. Someone listen. Only hope. Opportunity came busy week. Du Bois away New Orleans business. Croft preoccupied damaged cotton gin. Finch remained. Clinic dark activity place. Antoine feigned sudden illness. Assigned lighter duties near main house. Observation chance. Noticed young house servant boy Louis. Occasionally ran errands Finch. Carrying sealed envelopes post office nearest town Bayou Teche. Louis quiet timid, but Antoine seen fear flicker eyes speaking clinic. Approached cautiously, offered small save dried meat. Louis carry letters doctor? Yes Antoine. Post office. Ever wonder what inside letters? Louis hesitated, whispered. Always sealed. But doctor strange man. Leaned closer. Louis need help. Dangerous ask. But good us all. Good disappeared once. Boy eyes widened, dawning comprehension. Needed carry different message, reach right hands. Explained veiled terms graves horror. Experiments, journal scene names. Didn't show journal. Recounted enough make truth undeniable. Louis listened, paler, small body trembling. But Monsieur Du Bois. Master Croft. They never know you. I write message. You deliver like doctor letters. But this one gives specific person, Monsieur Thibodeau, Gazette de la Louisiana editor New Orleans. Writes justice. Heard Thibodeau whispers, rare descent voice local papers. Risk immense Louis. Boy swayed Antoine quiet conviction. Sheer story horror. Finally nodded. Jaw set. Do it Antoine. For Mama Cecile. Others. Night. Stolen candle flickering light. Antoine painstakingly wrote message scrap paper found. Wrote unmarked graves. 21 bodies. Medical experimentation evidence. Remembered victims, names Finch Journal. Du Bois complicity. Ongoing atrocities. Wrote desperate urgency. Knowing one chance. Sealed drop wax. Looked official correspondence. Next morning. Pounding heart. Handed sealed note Louis. Precise delivery instructions. Louis pale determined. Tucked note deep pocket. Set off Bayou Teche. Days passed. Each eternity agonizing suspense. Antoine worked, watched, waited. Every shadow potential threat, every sound possible discovery sign. Saw Finch continue work, oblivious, Perhaps uncaring, secrets exposed. Saw Du Bois return, stern demeanor intact, seemingly unaware silent rebellion brewing beneath nose. Then one morning, carriage arrived bell rev. Not usual visitors, groups stern-faced men dark suits. Among them, recognized Monsieur Thibodeau, grim face, sharp observant eyes. Two others, one large ledger, other camera, strange box contraption. Cold dread mixed desperate hope surge. Message reached destination. Men confronted Du Bois, voices low firm. Antoine nearby working, strained here. Caught fragments. Unmarked graves. Medical malpractice allegations. Human experimentation. Official inquiry. Du Bois' face, usually composed, disbelief mask, then cold fury. Denied everything. Outrageous lies disgruntled Negroes. Tried intimidate, use influence. Men different, not local authorities. New Orleans, representing nascent public justice interest, spurred Thibodeau relentless truth pursuit. Insisted inspect clinic, graves. Du Bois cornered, no choice comply. Went field, 21 graves exposed, silent damning testament. Opened crude coffins. New Orleans men faces pale, saw horrifying evidence themselves. Disarticulated bones, crude instruments, stained shrouds. Camera flashed, grim reality captured. Then clinic. Finch initially defiant. Quickly crumbled evidence weight, stern questioning. Ledger man. New Orleans Medical Society representative. Found Finch journal, very one Antoine read. Entries. Once clinical, now unspeakable crimes confession. Full horoscope laid bare. Systematic experimentation nature, sheer victim number, callous life disregard, scientific advancement guise. Final revelation, not single moment. Horrifying truths cascade. Men discovered Finch submitting reports, heavily sanitized, various medical journals, received minor accolades, innovative research. Medical establishment, knowledge pursuit, best blind eye, worst tacitly encouraged atrocities. Victims not just field buried. Countless others suffering dismissed, humanity denied. Twisted science name. Antoine watched distance, silent witness unfolding drama. Saw Du Bois' face contorted rage fear, carefully constructed world crumble. Saw Dr. Finch, precise demeanor shattered, eyes wide desperate cornered animal terror. Truth, once buried, finally erupted, unspeakable horror geyser. But even triumph flicker, cold dread settled. Knew even truth exposed, justice, true justice, distant elusive dream world built profound inequality. Battle far from over. Arrival New Orleans men, spurred Antoine desperate message, ripped open carefully constructed bell rev facade. Immediate aftermath whirlwind activity, brief, chaotic disruption grim routine. Dr. Finch arrested, clinic sealed, journals instruments confiscated evidence. Monsieur Du Bois, not immediately arrested. Intense questioning. Reputation irrevocably tarnished. Gazette de la Louisiana published scathing exposé, detailing unmarked graves horrors. Dr. Finch medical experiments. Shockwaves polite New Orleans society. Fleeting moment. Antoine surge hope. Perhaps finally justice served. Perhaps silent dead find peace, living spared further suffering. But justice wheels, especially 1850 Louisiana, turned slowly, often not at all, powerless. Initial outrage faded, replaced quiet insidious damage control campaign. Du Bois, immense wealth influence, exerted power. Local authorities, initially hesitant, soon fell line, narrative shifted. Dr. Finch argued rogue, madman, acting alone. Research aberration, not esteemed medical community representative. Du Bois claimed unwitting patron, deceived Finch scientific pretensions. Graves, 21 silent witnesses, quietly covered up. Not reinterred dignity, simply reburied. Earth smoothed, evidence erased once more. Official records falsified, simply lost. Victims' names, briefly Finch journal light, swallowed silence again. Wooden cardinal, child toy, reburied rest. Small defiant presence hidden world again. Dr. Finch, brief hush trial. Found guilty unethical medical practices, disturbing peace, not murder. Sentence surprisingly lenient. Few years state asylum. Convenient silence. Discredit testimony. Painting insane rather calculating perpetrator. Within few years, whispers circulated escaped, released, disappearing vast anonymous American West landscape. Perhaps continue dark work elsewhere new name. Monsieur Du Bois faced no legal consequences. Wealth connections too strong. Scandal, damaging, eventually swept rug. Paid hefty some reparations New Orleans Medical Society. Embarrassment Finch caused. Quietly resumed life. Power diminished, not broken. Whispers about Belle Reve continued. Relegated shadows. Dismissed mere gossip. Antoine fate more complex. Role exposing truth never officially acknowledged. Louis, young house servant. Quietly sold distant plantation. Silent warning anyone consider speaking out. Antoine not punished directly. But life Belle Reve became living hell. Croft threats constant reality. Cruelty refined. Insidious. Assigned hardest, most dangerous tasks. Rations subtly reduced. Family constantly under threat. Never beaten openly. Psychological torment relentless. Slow grinding punishment designed break spirit. Survived, never same. Trauma witnessed. Uncovered. Profound aftermath injustice. Left indelible mark. Carried unmarked graves ghosts within. Silent cries, echoing soul. Looked Marie. Face etched worry. Etienne growing taller. Eyes still flicker innocence. Antoine desperately tried protect. Taught cautious. Observe. Remember. Never truly trust world around him. Unmarked graves Belle Reve forgotten world. Not Antoine. Knew where lay. Beneath newly cultivated field. Silent testament horror society. Chosen ignore. New true monsters not supernatural specters. Men. Systems built protect power privilege. Years passed. Cotton fields Belle Reve continued yield bounty. Grand Manor House stood proud. Bayou slow and different flow. But Antoine. Few remembered. Land itself held different story. Story 21 souls buried without names. Without dignity. Lives stolen. Deaths erased. Story whispered Russell Kane. Mournful heron cry. Oppressive Louisiana sun heat. Story served chilling reminder. Some horrors once unearthed can never truly be reburied. Not hearts those bore witness. Most disturbing truth all. World built such foundations. Unmarked graves Belle Reve likely not only once. Merely one's brief, terrifying moment dared speak.